tes. Oke, udah masuk ya. Udah mulai nih guys. Yang buat
Leipzig, so RB Leipzig now sixth successive participation in the competition for Leipzig, semi-final in 2020. Leipzig have been drawn away to Internazionale Milano. They will be drawn now 7 more opponents.
Ini Buffon sama Ronaldo ya.
Starting with Liverpool from pot 1, that's a home match. In pot 2, they'll be hosting Juventus and they'll be away at Atlético de Madrid. In pot 3, it's Sporting Clube de Portugal at home and Celtic away. And in pot 4, Leipzig will be playing Aston Villa at home in Germany, and they'll be traveling to Austria, short trip to play Sturm Graz.
Plenty of emotions for sure. Anki also here. Gigi, we're ready for the next team.
Pengundian Champions League.
Borussia Dortmund.
Borussia Dortmund. So again in Germany, Borussia Dortmund, the finalists of last season. Great season in the Champions League with 4 of the Dortmund players named Uefa Champions League team of the season. So for Dortmund, what do we know? Nothing. They have not been drawn against any opponent. Cristiano.
Thank you, Cristiano. So these are the opponents for Borussia Dortmund in the league phase. From pot 1, they will host Barcelona, and they travel to Cristiano's old club, Real Madrid. From pot 2, they're at home against Shakhtar Donetsk and travel to Club Brugge. From pot 3, they will be hosting the Scottish champions Celtic, and they're away in Zagreb to take on GNK Dinamo. And from pot 4, completing the lineup for Borussia Dortmund, then Sturm Graz at home, and Bologna, who return to the competition after many, many years, they travel to them away.
Yes, Reshmin, you're right. So who comes after Borussia Dortmund? Gigi, you tell us.
This is my new job, eh? Barcelona.
So FC Barcelona now have played 349 UEFA Champions League or European Cup matches. They are third in this special ranking. Barcelona will play Bayern and Borussia Dortmund and other 6 teams.
Thank you, Cristiano. It'll be Atalanta at home and Benfica away in pot 2.
Gue masih nggak ngerti ini gimana.
And in pot 3, a home match with young boys from Switzerland, and they'll be traveling to Belgrade to take on Crvena Zvezda. And in pot 4, it's Stade Brestois, the debutants from France, and they'll play here in the Principality of Monaco as well. That's the journey for Barcelona.
Yes, and after Barcelona, of course, there are another 3 to complete pot 1.
Oops.
3 different countries.
Real Madrid.
So Real Madrid, the title holders. Last season, Real Madrid was unbeaten in 13 Champions League matches. It was the first time they won a competition without losing a single match. So for Real Madrid, we have Borussia Dortmund, and Cristiano, your former club, receives 7.
Yeah, big responsibility to select for your former club, Cristiano, and this is who you've come up with. They won't blame you for anything. Right, from part 1, Real Madrid are at home against Borussia Dortmund, as we know. They will also travel to Anfield to take on Liverpool. From pot 2, they will take on Milan, and they're away against the Europa League holders Atalanta. From pot 3, they take on Salzburg and travel to Lille. And from pot 4, completing the lineup for the current holders, it is a home tie against Stuttgart and an away tie against Stade Brestois. Happy with that, Cristiano? You think you've given them a decent path?
Not bad so far.
Not bad so far. It's okay. Right, we'll ask them later. Giorgio,
Yes.
back to you.
Yes, back to Gigi, actually, for the next 2 draws. We start now with
Liverpool.
Liverpool FC, the English club with the most titles in this competition, 6-time winners. Liverpool have been drawn at home with Real Madrid and away to Leipzig. which other 6?
Yes, we're completing the puzzle for Liverpool. It's Bayer Leverkusen at home and Milan away in pot 2. They'll be hosting Lille and traveling to the Netherlands to take on PSV Eindhoven in pot 3. And in pot 4, it's hosting Bologna, that's their responsibility, and also traveling to Girona. So 2 clubs there that are back in the big time of the UEFA Champions League.
Yes, only one name is left in the pot. Yes, we know that they have been already drawn against 2 teams in pot 1.
Paris Saint-Germain.
Paris Saint-Germain, they scored in the last 50 UEFA Champions League group stage matches since November 2015. They will face Manchester City, Bayern Munich, and other 6 clubs.
Okay, this is the journey then for Gigi's former club, PSG. From pot 2, they will be hosting Atlético de Madrid, and they travel to the Emirates to take on Arsenal. From pot 3, they're up against PSV Eindhoven at home, and they're away in Austria to Salzburg. And from pot 4, they will be hosting the debutants in the Champions League, Girona, and they are away in Germany against Stuttgart. How does that look, Gigi?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
We will know. We'll find out, right?
Yeah.
We'll find out. Once the matches start, we'll find out.
He waits to see what happens to Juventus.
For me, PSG started always to win the Champions League because it's a best team and playing in a best city in Europe.
This year is the year? You hope. Fantastic. Thank you, Gigi. The first teams then have been drawn, and already some fantastic matchups to look forward to. We promised you big games at the beginning of this competition. We have delivered. We've got Barcelona playing Bayern Munich. We've got Real Madrid against Borussia Dortmund, a repeat of last season's final. And we have PSG against Manchester City as well. Not bad at all, Pedro.
No, but you know what? There's more to come. We've got pot 2 coming up, 9 more teams who are about to discover their fate. Let's take a look at them. So, as we've just seen, some magnificent teams in pot 2, including the Bundesliga champions Bayer Leverkusen, Arsenal and Atlético Madrid, among others. But who will they be facing in this season's UEFA Champions League, an historic season? Let's find out.
Yes, the league phase is taking shape, now even more. Gigi, you start pot 2.
Atlético de Madrid.
Atlético Madrid, thank you. Atlético de Madrid, 3-time finalists, and they won all the 5 home matches in the last season. They have received from pot 1 Leipzig and Paris Saint-Germain, Cristiano, 6 opponents.
Yes, and the 6th opponents then for Atlético de Madrid. They will face a home tie against the German champions Bayer Leverkusen. They travel to take on Benfica from pot 2. From pot 3, they host Lille, and they take on Salzburg in Austria. And from pot 4, they will be hosting newcomers Slovan Bratislava, and they travel to the Czech Republic to take on Sparta Praha. And just a reminder again, this is not the order in which it will happen, Giorgio, because the calendar will be published on Saturday.
I think they have understood.
Do you think they know?
I think they know by now. Yes, Gigi, second team in pot 2. Atalanta, they won their first European title this year, the Europa League, and they established themselves as a powerhouse, we can say, in European football. Atalanta will play Real Madrid and Barcelona, and this 6.
Here it is, the picture being complete now for Atalanta. It'll be Arsenal and Shakhtar Donetsk in pot 2. In pot 3, hosting Celtic, traveling to Switzerland to play Young Boys. And in pot 4, it's a match at home in Bergamo against Sturm Graz and a trip to Germany to face Stuttgart.
Yes, this was Atalanta. Gigi, we can go on.
Club Brugge.
Brugge, the first and the only club from Belgium reaching the final of the competition. They did it in 1978. They will play Borussia Dortmund and Manchester City. And what we can say about Liverpool, Brugge, is that Cristiano now will draw 6 opponents from the other 3 pots.
Okay. From the other pots, from pot 2, they have a home tie against Gigi's former club and Cristiano's former club, Juventus, and they are at home to another Italian side in Milan. From pot 3, they take on, they're away at San Siro, apologies. From pot 3, they are at home to Sporting Club de Portugal, of course, where it all began for Cristiano, and they are at Celtic Park. What a game that will be for them. And from pot 4, they host Aston Villa, and they travel to Sturm Graz.
Yes, that's done for Brugge. We're ready to see one more.
Bayern Leverkusen.
Bayern Leverkusen had a great season last year, 53 matches on 1 single loss. The first team ever to complete the Bundesliga without 1 single defeat. So for Leverkusen, we need to add 5 teams to Inter, Liverpool, Atletico.
And those 5 teams are AC Milan at home for Bayer Leverkusen, and then it's Salzburg and Feyenoord in pot 3, and in pot 4, Sparta Praha and Stade Brestois. That's their path in the UEFA Champions League.
Yes, that's it. Also Bayer Leverkusen now they know what they have to expect in this league phase. 5 to go for pot 2.
Arsenal.
The Gunners of London, Arsenal, they will play against Paris Saint-Germain, against Inter, and against Atalanta. Which other 5 clubs?
Yeah, the other 5 clubs then for Arsenal are Shakhtar Donetsk from pot 2. From pot 3, they host Dinamo, and they travel to Sporting Club de Portugal. And making up the journey for Arsenal fans then is AS Monaco and Girona.
Yes, another great lineup. We can proceed and see the next team drawn.
Benfica.
So Benfica, they won twice the tournament, and they participated 44 times in this competition, the second most overall. Their opponents known so far are Barcelona, Bayern, and Atlético de Madrid.
A handful of opponents left for Benfica. They've just found out they'll be playing Juventus away from pot 2, and then it's Feyenoord at home, Crvena Zvezda away, Bologna at home, and Monaco right here in the Principality, Giorgio.
Yes, closer now to finishing this spot. We have only 3.
AC Milan.
So Milan, 7-time winners of the competition, 32 times participating. Liverpool, Real Madrid, Brugge and Leverkusen are known opponents, and yes, these 4 coming from 3 and 4.
Cristiano's getting quicker with the button, aren't you? So let's get quick with the draw then. From pot 3, making up the journey for Milan.
To hurt.
Is it old age?
No, I'm joking.
Making up the journey then for AC Milan. At home, they are against Crvena Zvezda. They take on Dinamo as well. And from pot 4, it is Girona and Slovan Bratislava as well.
Yes, one step closer to the end of the spot. Gigi, you have not drawn yet one club that you know well.
Juventus.
And here we are, finally. Gigi managed to show us the name of Juventus. Juventus has been drawn already against 4 opponents: Manchester City, Leipzig, Benfica, Brugge, and Cristiano. That's your responsibility, what happens to them.
4 left to draw, a home tie with PSV Eindhoven, a trip to France to face Lille, a match at home against Stuttgart, and they'll be going to Birmingham to take on Aston Villa. And I have to ask, Cristiano, you scored practically every time against Liverpool. You guys played yeah, 10 times. I think it was 10 times, the most any player ever scored against another team. How was it when he finally joined you at Juve then? Okay, you're safe, but then you had him at training.
No, for me, Juventus can do a good job because Juventus, like PSG, like Real Madrid, always started to win a Champions League. It's always the same.
Always the same. And when you played Cristiano, what about that? Did we talk about the bicycle kick or not?
The bicycle kick?
Scusa, Giorgio, scusa.
Was that your favorite Champions League goal?
He asked me sorry after the last match, Real Madrid, Juventus. I remember it.
Respect.
Respect. Yes, yes.
It was a great goal. I mean, has to be said. Right, let's carry on. Giorgio, back to you.
Yes, back to Gigi for the last one. Yes, only one ball.
Ronaldo salta.
In this spot.
Oops. Shakhtar Donetsk.
And they are the champions and cup winners of Ukraine, Shakhtar Donetsk. And for Shakhtar, we have drawn 4 opponents: Bayern, Borussia Dortmund, Atalanta, Arsenal. Cristiano, would you give them 4 more?
Yeah, 4 more for Shakhtar Donetsk. They will be hosting Young Boys and away in the Netherlands to take on PSV Eindhoven. And completing the lineup for them is Stade Brestois and Bologna as well, Giorgio. Okay, so 9 more teams have been drawn, and more intriguing ties to look forward to, I said, as we promised, including Benfica against Atlético Madrid. We've got Atalanta taking on Arsenal as well, and Bruges against Juventus.
More quality games to offer. Let's move on to pot 3 now, which includes 2 teams from the Netherlands and clubs from Croatia and Serbia, among others.
Yes, pot 3 is full of teams with great European credentials as well, including PSV Eindhoven, Celtic, and Sporting Club de Portugal. So let's take a look at. Thank you very much, guys. Did okay? Yeah, thank you. I get the nod from the 2 Portuguese either side of me. So let's find out who these teams will have the pleasure of meeting in this season's competition. Giorgio, back to you.
Yes, and now we tackle the remaining 50% of the teams. Gigi, you can shuffle and draw. And they have been already drawn 50% of their opponents. They have to find out which 4 more teams they will have to play against.
Young Boys.
So
Young
the first
Boys.
one comes from the Swiss capital of Bern. It's Young Boys. Young Boys coming from the playoffs in Istanbul, Inter, Barcelona, Atalanta and Shakhtar. And Cristiano is revealing 4.
Yes, so the remaining fixtures for Young Boys then from pot 3, Crvena Zvezda and a trip to Celtic Park. And from pot 4, they're up against Aston Villa and Stuttgart as well.
Yes, this is Young Boys. Let's go ahead.
Oops. Lille.
LOSC Lille also from the playoffs. Also for Lille, we have drawn 4 opponents, Real Madrid, Liverpool, Juventus and Atlético de Madrid. And here comes with the other 4.
Here they are, Giorgio. It's Feyenoord and Sporting from pot 3. It's Sturm Graz and Bologna from pot 4.
Yes, Gigi, you can proceed.
PSV Eindhoven.
PSV Eindhoven, 91 points in their league last year, 138 goals scored in the season. It's impressive what they have done. For PSV, we have drawn 4. Liverpool, Paris, Shakhtar, Juventus.
Yeah, this is where it starts to get a bit quicker, doesn't it, as more of the opponents are known. So from pot 3, they're up against Sporting Club de Portugal, and they travel to Serbia to take on Crvena Zvezda. And from pot 4, it's Girona and Stade Brestois.
Yes, this is it for PSV Eindhoven. We can draw the next team.
Feyenoord.
Feyenoord, we go back to the Netherlands for Feyenoord, the winners of 1970. 5 teams have been drawn: Bayern, Manchester City, Leverkusen, Benfica, Lille. We go.
A hat trick of opponents to reveal. It's Salzburg from pot 3 and Sparta Praha and Girona from pot 4.
Yes, correct. We can go ahead. We have 5 waiting for their remaining opponents in this pot.
Dinamo Zagabria.
GNK Dinamo from Zagreb, 25 times champions of Croatia.
Dinamo Zagreb.
Borussia Dortmund, Bayern, Milan and Arsenal are their drawn opponents.
Calon klubnya Profesor Tom Hai ini.
Yes, some amazing ties for Dinamo so far, and making up the journey for them then is Celtic, Salzburg, Monaco and a trip to Slovan Bratislava.
Yes, that's it for GNK Dinamo. Let's go ahead. For teams, for countries.
Oops. Red Star.
Crvena Zvezda, Belgrade, the winners of the 1991 title. 6 have been drawn already: Barcelona, Inter, Benfica, Milan, PSV and Young Boys.
Yeah, Giorgio, so just 2 opponents for Crvena Zvezda to find out for their path in this season's UEFA Champions League. And the picture is complete. Stuttgart and Monaco. Those are the final 2 teams.
Yes, that's it for Crvena Zvezda. We have 3 more.
Salzburg.
FC Salzburg from Austria. 6 successive years in the UEFA Champions League. 6 opponents as well: Paris, Real Madrid, Atlético, Leverkusen, GNK Dinamo, Feyenoord and
Stade Brestois at home, and it's also Sparta Praha away.
yes, correct. We go ahead. 2 names, same colors for these 2 clubs left in the pot.
Celtic.
Celtic FC, winners of 67, the only Scottish clubs which has won the trophy. Leipzig, Dortmund, Brugge, Atalanta, Young Boys, Dinamo for them.
Yeah, and completing the journey for Celtic then, Slovan Bratislava and Aston Villa, so not too far for them to travel for their final game in pot 4.
And the last one. Here we go. This is, I guess, the club that launched Cristiano on the international stage.
Sporting Lisbona.
Sporting Clube de
Sporting
Portugal.
Lisbon.
You've seen the 6 opponents. That's
Special.
special one, special club, special opponents.
2 hands for Cristiano, 2 opponents for Sporting to reveal. It's Bologna and Sturm Graz for their picture to be complete. Cristiano, I wanted to ask you, when you were back at Sporting, and I remember that very well as a teenager, did that kid think that you could reach everything you've been able to accomplish in your career?
Of course, no. Impossible. But I always dream at least to be professional football. But to win what I won, no, impossible.
Yeah.
But it all
Very fair.
became
Very honest.
the dream became a reality, Cristiano. Fantastic to have you here as well. And everyone is dreaming, aren't they, of these ties. We've still got one more pot to do. The matches keep on coming. Among them, Sporting Club de Portugal against Lille, Celtic against Young Boys, and Salzburg against Dinamo as well. I know this matrix is there's a lot to take in. So, yeah, plenty to digest, but I'm sure it will start to make sense.
Let's do it one more time, Rashman. Let's
Sama
get to the
drawing,
final
eh?
pot, which features Champions League clubs from Spain, Italy, and Austria, among others. Some more great teams in pot 4, including Girona, Bologna, and Sturm Graz. So let's find out who they'll be playing in this season's historic Champions League. Giorgio, one final time to you.
One final time, not much left to finish the job. Gigi, it's again up to you. These teams know already 6 out of 8 opponents.
Stuttgart.
We start with VfB Stuttgart, runners-up in the Bundesliga last year, back since 2013-14, and there are 6 opponents unknown. Cristiano, we can go.
Yeah, 6 opponents known, and completing the picture then for Stuttgart from pot 4, they take on Sparta Praha and Slovan Bratislava.
Yes, this is the complete lineup for VfB Stuttgart, and we are ready to see who we allocate to this club.
Girona.
Girona FC, first time ever in Uefa competitions.
Tambah
Thanks to their performance in the Liga last year. We are ready to reveal the remaining 2 opponents to Girona.
We are. The final couple of rivals are Slovan Bratislava and Sturm Graz for the Spanish outfit.
Yes, plus the other 6, and we go ahead. Who comes after Girona?
Bologna.
Bologna back to this competition after almost 60 years. Bologna, they had a fantastic season last year in Serie A. 6 opponents known for Bologna. We go.
Yeah, Bologna fans are going to have a fantastic time returning to the competition and making up the final 2 teams that they'll be facing, AS Monaco and Aston Villa away.
Yes, so Monaco and Aston Villa to complete the lineup for Bologna. We get ready, we go.
Brest.
Stade Brestois, also an outsider, best result ever in Ligue 1. For Stade Brestois, they have been drawn against 6 opponents. We give them the remaining 2. Yes, please.
And those 2 are Sturm Graz and Sparta Praha. The journey now complete as well for Stade Brestois.
Yes, journey is complete, and we go ahead because not much is left to be revealed.
Aston Villa.
And this is Aston Villa, winners of 82, back after more than 40 seasons to this stage. They know 7 of their 8 opponents. Cristiano can push.
Yeah, Aston Villa fans back in the big time, and their final opponent from pot 4 will be AS Monaco right here in the Principality.
Yes, so we have completed Aston Villa, and I think we have completed practically everything. So let's see these remaining names.
Sparta Praha.
Sparta
Milan,
Praha has
Atalanta,
no draw
Salzburg,
needed.
Lille,
Inter,
Stuttgart,
Manchester
and
City,
Brest.
Atlético, Leverkusen, Salzburg, Feyenoord, Brest and Stuttgart are their opponents.
Slovan Bratislava.
From Slovakia, Slovan Bratislava, they have also been drawn against Manchester City, Bayern, Milan, Atlético, Dinamo, Celtic, Stuttgart and Girona. Only 2, because we need to show all the 36 clubs.
Monaco.
As Monaco, our hosts of today, Barcelona, Inter, Benfica, Arsenal, Crvena Zvezda, Dinamo, Aston Villa and Bologna are their drawn opponents, and the last one.
Sturm Graz.
SK Sturm Graz, the champions and cup winners of Austria, Leipzig, Dortmund, Brugge, Atalanta, Sporting, Lille, Girona and Brest are their opponents in the league phase.
So we have completed, Giorgio, the historic UEFA Champions League draw for the new phase, new format. Really looking forward to this competition getting even better, even brighter, Reshmin. And of course, as we look at the matches that have been thrown up, there's so much to pick from. Just having a look at pot 4, we've seen Aston Villa and Bologna, Sturm Graz against Girona, and Slovan Bratislava versus Stuttgart. But just picking some from the many matches we really have to look forward to. It's going to be amazing this season.
It is going to be incredible, because we do know who each of the 36 teams will be playing in this year's competition. Take a moment to digest the information and really look forward to the journey ahead, because it's going to be fantastic. Cristiano and Gigi, is there a part of you that wishes you were out there playing in a couple of weeks' time?
Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
Cristiano, yeah?
Same.
Always. What were your first Champions League matches like? What was that moment? You know, your debut.
Always special. You know, when you listen the music, as I say before, it's turn you on. So it's fantastic.
I agree.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, look, special thanks to both of you for joining us for the draw today, Cristiano and Gigi, and of course to Giorgio for the seamless handling of the proceedings as well.
And that brings us to the end of this ceremony. Thank you so much for being here today. Everyone watching as well around the world. The competition, of course, kicks off on the 17th of September. We're ready for that already, and we wish all of the teams participating the very best of luck.
Yes, absolutely. From Pedro and myself and our special guest, Giorgio, to everyone here in the auditorium and watching all over the world. Thank you so much for joining us on this historic night as a new era of European football begins. Goodbye for now.
Bye.
Ya, bentar gue share jadwal ya. Pot 1, pot 2, pot 3, pot 4. Karena lumayan bikin confused nih. Oke, sebentar ya. Ya, itu dia jadwal pot 1, pot 2, pot 3, pot 4.
Bye.